Good afternoon. I'm coming to you from Miami, Florida. I've got some issues with this Affordable Health Care Act versus Obamacare. The reason I'm coming to you today is got a little bit upset earlier when Miami Gastroenterology consultants um, sent my wife a message canceling her appointment. About a week ago, my wife had called these guys because our doctor had recommended them. They took all of her information, her insurance information, address, phone number, everything, set the appointment. About 5 days after that, they called and left her a voicemail message stating that they were canceling the appointment because they did not accept, quote, Obamacare. I found this quite senile, very interesting as well. So this morning I called the offices of Miami Gastroenterology Consultants and went to the scheduling department and spoke to a young lady there and asked her, said, before I make an appointment, I'd like to know if you take my insurance. And I told her what the insurance company name was. And her first question was, well, is it employee or is it Obamacare? And I said at that point, well, what is Obamacare? Okay, hold on just a second. And she put me on hold, and I'm assuming she looked up my phone number and came back on and said, are you a patient of ours in the system? I said, well, no, I don't think so. She asked my birthday, and I gave it to her. And she then proceeded to tell me that Obamacare was the insurance the president was giving to all of the people, quote, unquote, or end quote. I asked at that point what the office manager's name was. She told me. I asked if I could speak to her. She was, of course, busy in meetings. So at that point, I explained to the young lady that there is no such thing as Obamacare. It's a marketing ploy by the extreme right wing that does not want this healthcare law, even though this healthcare law was ratified as being legal and fair by the Supreme Court on June 28th, 2012, and has become law effective January 1st this year. And that the actual name of the law was the Affordable Care Act, and that's what she should use. And she kept saying the affordable insurance. And again, we went back to the same thing. It's what Obama gave everybody. And I said, well, first of all, Obama didn't give anybody anything. Congress is the acting body that writes the laws. The president's only power is to sign the law into law or to veto it. Once he signs it into law, then the Supreme Court's job is to ratify and make sure that it is constitutional, fair, and it becomes law. And it was ratified. And my point to her was that if I said employer, she would take the same company, but since I purchased the same company's insurance through the Affordable Care Act's website, healthcare.gov, that they would not take it. So to me, that's discrimination. Now, that's just my opinion. Maybe it is, maybe it is not. But I feel it's discriminatory because you are excluding people who have purchased legally private health insurance through the exchange, and because where we purchased it, they weren't going to take it. So my guess is the dollars and cents issue, that these doctors are on the side of trying to take the law down and not participating with insurance companies' plans that come through the legalized Affordable Care Act website. So my point today is to let you know that I am going on a boycott. My hashtag will be boycott Miami Gastroenterology Consultants. I urge you to start boycotting anybody any facility, hospital, urgent care, surgery center, doctors who will not take the plans that come from the Affordable Care Act. It must be nice to be so rich that you can pick and choose who your customers will be. Well, I think that voting with our dollars by firing doctors who choose not to abide by the laws of the land and the oath they took to help heal sick people. Don't know the exact wording of their swearing in, but they are going into practice nowadays for the money purpose, not like in the old days when Dr. H.R. Nusz rode around Hardin County and delivered babies and took care of people forever, and he did not do it for the money. He did it because he loved helping people and doctoring, and there's not many doctors out there in this day and age. Luckily, we have found an awesome primary care physician and internist, and we absolutely love her, and I will be blogging about her at a later point. But join me, place comments below this article. Whether you agree or disagree, that's okay, because I know there's people that are for it and against it. And I debate online on Facebook about it as well, but I take my case as an example because I have had 3 back fusion surgeries. I would never be able to get health insurance again, probably for the rest of my life, if it wasn't for the Affordable Care Act. Now, I'm healthy. Like I said, I've been a vegetarian for almost 4 years. I make it to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. Still sturdy as an ox. But because of something that I went through years ago, I would never be able to have health insurance again if it was not for the Affordable Care Act. So I think it was unprofessional for the people in this specific doctor's office to not use the proper terminology, the Affordable Care Act, and this girl kept saying Obamacare, and that everybody calls into their office calls it Obamacare, and I guess the Republicans have done a great job of marketing and making sure that everybody thinking of Obamacare thinks of it as a negative. I'm one of the ones that absolutely do not agree with that. I am pro, and I don't even think that they went far enough, because my personal opinion is that if we would stop wars across this world and stop killing other people because their belief systems aren't the same as ours and save that money, it could afford to have taken care of health care for everybody in this country with nobody paying a penny and doctors still getting their fair share. Would not even have to raise taxes because of the amount of trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that we've spent in my opinion, again, unjustified wars over the last 12 years, 12, 13 years. So anyway, enough is enough. I appreciate your patience. Please tweet this out, retweet this, Facebook it, email it to your friends, families, neighbors, brothers, sisters, cousins, mothers, uncles. Ask them to do as well, and let's make this thing go viral and try to stop the doctors that are not accepting patients that have purchased their private, legal, law-abiding insurance via the Affordable Care Act's website. Thanks. Cheers from Miami.